Hey everyone, I'm Favor from APILayer, and today I'm excited to announce to you a new way to use APILayer's APIs. If you're an existing customer of APILayer or you've heard about APILayer or you're familiar with APILayer, you would know that we have standalone websites and dashboards for each of our APIs. So what that would mean is that if you wanted to use, say, IPstack, for instance, you would have to go to IPstack.com, create an account, and then get access to your API key before you can be able to make calls to IPstack. Let's say you wanted to use, say, Marketstack, for instance, which is another API. You would have to go to marketstack.com, create an account, and then get access to your API key before you can be able to make calls to Marketstack. Two standalone products, but both of them making calls to APIlayer's servers. That's been the traditional flow for all the 25 plus APIs that APIlayer provides. You would have to go on their standalone website, sign up, and then get an API key. But now we're excited to announce to you the APIlayer Unified Suite, which is a platform that will allow you to subscribe to multiple APIlayer's APIs on a single unified dashboard and access all of them using a single API key. Isn't that exciting? This is especially handy in scenarios where you are building, say, some kind of stock market dashboard, but then you need an API to give you visitor intelligence to be able to identify where your customers are coming from. In that case, you'd be using two of our APIs, Marketstack and IPstack. Marketstack will give you livestock data, whilst IPstack will help you identify where your customers' IP addresses are located at. Say you're actually building the stock market dashboard. All you'd have to do is go to app.apilayer.com, sign up. On the left-hand side of the dashboard, you will find the APIs that are currently on the Unified Suite. Currently, there are 9 of them on the Unified Suite, but we're actively working to expand this list to include all our APIs. So to build the stock dashboard, I'll need 2 APIs. I would need Marketstack and IPstack. So if I wanted to subscribe to Marketstack, what I'll have to do is I'll have to click on Marketstack and then get redirected to the Marketstack product page. Then I'm going to click on the plans tab, and this will give you all the available plans for Marketstack. Then all you have to do is to choose a plan that fits your needs. And one side note about our Unified Suite is that you don't have to worry about multiple billing per API. The Unified Suite also unifies billing. So if you're subscribed to Marketstack, MediaStack, PositionStack, it doesn't really matter which of our APIs that you're paying for, you would receive just one bill at the end of the month. For demo purposes, I am going to go ahead and subscribe to the free plan on Marketstack, and boom, just like that, and subscribe to Marketstack. And as I mentioned earlier, we're also going to need IPstack. So I'm going to go to IPstack and then switch to the plans tab and then subscribe to the free plan as well, and boom, I'm also subscribed to IPstack. And as mentioned earlier, the Unified Suite gives us just one API key for all the APIs that we're subscribed to, which means no need to be switching between platforms and copying separate API keys. Every single API that you're subscribed to will use just one API key. And so now that I'm subscribed to both APIs, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to make API calls to each of the APIs that I'm subscribed to using just one API key. So I'm going to revoke this API key just after the video. As you can see, I'm having just one API key. So heading over to my dashboard, I can track my monthly quota on each of the APIs that I'm subscribed to. So I'm currently on the free plan, which means that I have over 100 requests per month, which is 100 API calls per month on the free plan, which is more than enough for me to be able to test this out for you to see it in action. So currently I'm subscribed to just 2 APIs, I've said earlier, but I can expand the functionalities of my app. I could subscribe to Mailbox Layer, which helps me verify the emails of my customers who are signing up on my platform. I could subscribe to ScrapeStack, which helps me scrape data from sites around the internet. I could also subscribe to PositionStack, which is a geocoding API. So depending on your needs and the functionality you are hoping to achieve, you can subscribe to as many APIs as possible on our Unified Suite. And the best part is that they're all going to be using one API key. If you want to learn more about the APIs that you're subscribed to, you can simply head over to the documentation tab, which will redirect you to the documentation for the particular API that you're subscribed to, and then you can go through the documentation and learn how to integrate this API into your app. You'll also notice here that the documentation for all our APIs currently available on the Unified Suite is also available here. So since we're looking at IPstack first and I'm trying to test it out, I'm going to expand the API endpoints list and then click on standard lookup, which by the way is a basic endpoint that will accept an IP address and then return to you the location and other relevant information about that IP address. One thing to note here is that if you're an existing customer who isn't signed up to the Unified Suite, you'll realize that the base URL here is quite different. So let's go ahead and test this out. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put this on Postman and I'm going to copy a random IP address and then I'm going to paste this in, and then I'm going to have to pass in our API key here as our access key. So I'm going to head over to our dashboard and copy our API key over here. I'm going to paste that in here and then make the request, and boom. As you can see, this IP address here is located in South Korea in Asia. We also get the longitude and latitude of the exact location where the ISP is located at, and other relevant information that IPstack returns back to us via the Unified Suite. As a side note here, on the Unified Suite, the base URL is a bit different. So if you're an already existing customer, you would have already realized this. The format goes as APILayer.net / the API that you're subscribed to. If you're subscribed to IPstack, it's going to be /IPstack. If you're subscribed to Marketstack, it's going to be /Marketstack, and then whatever parameters that particular API accepts. And that's it, just as simple as that. And if you're subscribed to multiple APIs, this can come in really handy. You can build amazing applications using multiple APIs, which will save you a ton of development time and help you go to market much faster.